ahead and says, okay, your suit is ready. Let's fit into your suit. So all of a sudden he sees that the arm of the suit is a little bit crooked. He puts his arm into the suit and it kind of like feels like this. And he's like, I don't understand. Why did you make my suit that my arm doesn't fit entirely inside? And he says, it's okay. It's good for you to stretch a little bit your arm. He said, okay. And then he saw that the shoulder sleeve was a little bit high and the shoulder pads were higher. And he said, but Mr. the tailor, why is my shoulder pad so high? Like, why? And he's like, that's fine. You got to stretch a little bit this arm, extend a little bit this arm. He saw also that his pants were a little shorter. And he said, it's good. It's good to widen a little bit of the hip. And then more than that is that by the waist, it was a little bit open. So he said, I don't understand. So stretch a little bit of your arm here, a little bit to the left, to the side, expand yourself. And he's like, excellent. A little bit of yoga stretch to really fit the suit. So this man, thinking that he was going to buy a suit, starts walking out really crippled in his suit. And the other people that were passing by and watching him really said, wow, that's a good tailor. He's able to measure up a suit for the crippled. He's able to make a suit even for somebody that looks so crippled. And in some way, this story could sometimes be the versions of our life. You're going to decide what that suit looks like. But in essence, we all really wanted to show up in our nice, refined suits. And life's challenges brought that we had to bend a little bit this way. We had to extend a little bit this way. We had to push out a little bit this area. But we want so badly to fit the suit that we lost even the original composure of ourselves. And that's a little bit of what we're talking about today. We're going to do a very practical exercise, but I'm going to hold your hearts with it because when I did this exercise, it was very dearing to me. In essence, because we are part of divinity, and everybody has to leave today knowing that we really are all pure good. Life challenges brought that as a little child, we might have trust, and then life taught us not to trust. As a little child, we all wanted to love, and then life bent us over backwards that we now have a distorted version of love. We all wanted to have a lot of compassion, and then life taught us the opposite of compassion. So there we are, sitting in a suit because life's challenges told us that we need to fit this suit, but we lost the authentic version of the purity that we are. And that is a neshama that wants divinity. That is a neshama that wants godliness. That is a neshama that says, yes, Hashem, I love you. I want you. Choose me. I choose you. But we lost the ability to do that. We lost the ability to be that. So we lost something. During Elul, something got lost. And today, we want to find it again. Today, we want to go searching. I mentioned that Elul, the word for Elul in Aramaic, means to search. So why would you search for anything? I'm so sorry if this is repetitive, by the way, girls. Why would we search for anything? When you go searching for something, what does it mean?
We lost something.
We lost something. So if Elul were going to search something, is because along the way, something got lost. So what does it mean if something got lost? That once upon a time, it was what? It was there. Thank you. Once upon a time, we had something, it was there, and we lost it. And so sometimes we don't even know that we lost it. We're so far off from the quintessential self of our soul that we don't even know that we lost it. But this is the time that we stop, and with intention, we're going to go find it. Okay? So we're going to do an exercise. I want to jump into what we lost last year. I'm just prepping our hearts a bit. Very important before we do this exercise. Let's redefine the lines. We lost something. In essence, we are pure. That pure conformed into a suit that we didn't want to find. Okay? Also, another story. Shlomo, who lost his keys near the shul, told Reuven to come help him find these keys. So he goes, Shlomo, where did you lose your keys? He said, I lost it 2 blocks down by the shul. And he says, so Shlomo, why are you looking for your keys here? And he says, because over here there's light. You lost your keys 2 blocks down by the shul, but over here you're looking at the light. So the truth is, we're going to go looking for something we lost, but sometimes we want to stay in the light because it's too hard to go searching for it in the dark. And we're going to go looking for it in the dark. And it might be painful. This experience that I did was painful, but the key right now is you're going to be very compassionate, and that's the word. You're going to be very compassionate with yourself, like Hashem is very compassionate to the fact that He made you in your full parts and your broken parts, and it's going to be okay. I mentioned also the hardest element that exists actually in the world is the noyau, the seed of a peach. Do you know not the seed, the pit of, thank you, the pit of a peach. You can hammer that pit, you can break it, you could toss it across the room, it will not break, and it will not break. You know what breaks it? When you plant it in the ground. When you soften yourself and when you're kind and compassionate with yourself, it breaks over a pit that even if you hammer it. So as we do these exercises, be very kind with yourself. Be very compassionate with yourself, because by the way, when you show up in Elul, Hashem is very compassionate with you. You can come up with all of your broken self and say, I don't know why I did this. And He says, it's okay. It's okay. We're walking through this. So that was a very fast version of what last week is. Do you think we can jump into the exercise? If at any point somebody doesn't feel comfortable doing this, just opt out. But it's a beautiful one, and it enhanced my Elul. And I don't want to just talk about the inspiration about Elul. I want to make it practical. So let's all grab a piece of paper and a pen. You can go ahead and circulate this. And sorry, I'm going to guide you. I'm going to guide you. This is a guided exercise. I left the girls last week on a cliffhanger for it. Yes, pens are circulating. Let's just make the roads very clear. Elul, we go searching. Elul, we lost something that was once there. Okay? Elul, we need to now not look for the keys under the light, because it's easy to find things under the light. Sometimes we need to go searching in the dark. When we go searching in the dark, we're going to be very compassionate with ourselves. Clear? Everybody has those roadmaps to do it? Okay, let's jump in. We're waiting for some pens, though. We have pens? Everybody has a pen? Excellent. Okay. All right, ladies. Let's do this. You're going to walk into a meeting, a boardroom like this. You're going to walk in. You can even close your eyes and imagine it. That's what I did when I did it. You're going to walk in to a board meeting, and you're going to have every single version of yourself around that table. You're going to have baby you. You're going to have toddler you, middle school you, high school you, young adult you, married you, you yourself present, your future selves. Every single version of you is around that table. Okay? Every version. Toutes les versions.
I understand.
Okay.
Old versions.
All the versions.
No, old.
Old versions.
Oh, okay.
And future version. Okay, so take a mental picture of walking into a room, and every single version of Sarah is sitting around that room. Every single version of Esther is sitting around that room. Michal is sitting around that room. Okay? And for just 1 second, as you imagine all the versions of you, I want you to sit next to the person or the version of you that needs your attention just for a second. Try to think about all the versions of you, little you, for any recollection that you remember. All the versions of you, you want to sit for a second when you walk in. You want to pretend like you're coming in. And let's say it was teenage me that needs my attention for 2 seconds. All you're going to do is you're going to walk to your teenage self, and you're just going to place your hand on the teenage self just for 2 seconds. Give attention to the version of you, maybe just needs it. And you can visualize it. You can close your eyes and visualize this. It's because right now we need to go backwards in order to spring forward. We're going to search, right? We have to find what we lost. Okay. And you're going to start asking some questions to all these versions. The first thing you're going to ask is, what does each of you need to hear from me right now? Each version of you, what is something that you need to hear from me right now in my present? My little me, what do you need to hear? My middle school me, what do you need to hear? my adolescent part to me. What do you need to hear right now? And you could take a time to write this down, or you could take a time to even just visualize this. And if you engage in this kind of exercise, I'm telling you, it'll feel very, very, very invigorating. Because again, the goal is we're going to search. We lost something amongst these versions of ourselves, and so we want to reclaim it. So we need to give attention to all the parts of us that is there. Once we're finished talking to all of the versions of ourselves, the second question we're going to ask is, what have I been carrying for so long, and who gave it to me? For so long, I've been carrying something. Which version of all of you gave that what I'm carrying? So right now, presently, right now, I know, I'm sorry. It's pretty deep, I know. I know, it's okay. I'm sorry, I'm zooming through this because we layered last week. So now we're laying a little bit over here, but I'll slow it down. You entered into a room with all your versions. You're carrying something presently, whatever it is. It could be an anxiety, it could be a pain, it could be a hurt, it could be a negative memory. One of the versions of you gave you that memory because maybe you experienced it during that portion of your life. So you're going to walk in and you're going to ask all the versions of you who gave you that negative experience.
But which experience?
The one that you're carrying today. If you have something today that you're carrying, one of the versions of that of you gave that to you.
Does it have to be something negative?
It doesn't be negative. It could be very positive. No, it's true.
Sometimes you do something and and you're not supposed to have that. Yeah, it could still be. You could live with the pain or.
So you don't have to go to that person, because if
you care, you care, child. There is just. What do you do then?
So let me clarify.
Like, when you tell us it's all right, like, so you can pray for it, but maybe we're not supposed to have it.
Right. Okay. If you're walking in presently to this boardroom, yeah? Right now, if you're not feeling like there's something that's still there, you don't need to approach that version of you to say, why did you give it to me? Because you're healed. You're not looking at that version of you and saying, I'm still on that episode. You're okay. You see that version of yourself and you're complete with it. So you don't have to go to that version. I'll give you an example to be more practical. If I am having certain feelings of anxiety, they source back to a version of me. I want to go to that version of me and I want to say, that experience that we had at that time in my life gives me that anxiety today that I might be dealing with now. And what we're going to do is we're not going to blame, we're not going to shame, we're going to sit with that version. Because again, if I still have it today, it's because it's still lost and I still need to heal from it. And so I'm going to sit with that version so I can find it again. The idea behind Rabbi Jacobson is saying that we need to go back to the place that we lost it. And sometimes it takes unpacking and unlayering to find where we misplaced our heart. It could keep on happening. Oh, this is an exercise you could do periodically. If we want, we can skip to the next question. Are we okay to go on to the next question? Okay, good.
You're making us go.
What?
You're making us forever.
I'm good. I'm
And
happy.
then they can connect it because. Yeah. Or have to do something else.
Listen, I want you to engage as much as you want with this exercise. If this is difficult, it's okay. It's okay. Or, you know, the beauty of this space is that we allow for the.
No, the space to connect.
Yeah.
Because if we have the questions.
You know what you can even do? You could write down the questions, and if it feels too vulnerable to maybe experience this with a group of women, you could take these questions home. Oh, we need time. Yes. Yes. Okay, I'll give you time. I'm sorry. My mind, I said it. I gave a disclaimer. My mind is always racing 10 times more than when I have to like. Yes, yes, yes. I'm sorry. You're right. Absolutely. You know what? So time me, because like I'm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. For sure. For sure. Also, we don't, usually this took me a good 3 hours to do on my own. So if you'd like, I could really just provide questions.
Yeah.
And then when you want to do this in your own space, and I really recommend doing it when you have no distraction, it will enhance your experience so beautifully that when you come Rosh Hashanah, you really feel like you were in the middle of a conversation with Hashem because the work was done now.
if I can suggest
Yes,
something.
please.
The problem with, if you give us now the question,
Our minds are gonna race it too much.
it's just that when the problem that it will keep us away from
Yeah.
having a side that
Yes.
I think we have to first experiment it, even if we don't finish it here.
Okay, okay.
Because you will feel the benefit of finding your parts and speaking to your
Yes.
parts. And then we can continue because we felt we experienced it.
Right.
So we want to,
Right.
it's easier to continue once you're already in. You
Okay,
know what I mean?
okay, so then we won't go through all 6 questions. We'll
No,
do
we can
2.
it Question after, but
After.
maybe like you leave time for
For sure.
question, 2 questions.
For sure.
And then you can give us the rest of the questions,
Okay.
so we can continue. with
Okay,
the-
perfect.
I like
Yes,
that.
yes.
I like
So please, like, this is so interactive. Like, tell me. Yeah, no, give me like, no, 1 second. No, I'm not done on this one.
Can
Okay?
you please repeat the first question?
Yes,
And that's depending on your time, because
Yes.
if we can do that for the.
yes,
then-
this is it. This is the work.
Okay, so let's do that, then we have time.
Okay,
No?
yes, please. This is also my first time that I experienced this, is my first time giving it over because I found it was such a deep experience for me. It was extremely healing
It is.
because you're really talking to parts of yourself and it feels sometimes uncomfortable, especially doing this around people, but it transformed and I can tell you, I found a part of my heart that today I feel I can bring to Hashem. I found a part of my heart that finally I could say, like, remember this? I'm going back to get it because now I'm taking it for my destination onwards. That's the point, right? We want to, sometimes people say, why we did, let's say even, we did tshuva on it. Why am I going back on the skeletons? It's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring back the layers so that if there's even a reminiscence of something that's keeping us blocked, we can completely heal from it so that we can level it up. Does that make sense?
Can you please
Yes,
give an
yes.
example?
It's hard to give an example, but I can give an
No,
example.
but,
I can give an
more
example. I don't mind
concrete.
giving an example. Or Baruch Hashem, you're gonna really
Can
soon.
I ask you a question?
Yes,
I find it very easy to do up until like my age now, but in the future, it's really difficult.
to
You get-
speak to the version of self.
Yeah,
It's an
Imagine yourself
aspiration.
the
It's
white-
an inspiration. It's maybe also we all have a goal. What are we aspiring to do? What are we aspiring to be? What would you like to tell the
Also to
yes,
yourself. in the
yes.
future. Like, I need to, the same way, like today you comfort your little one
Mhm.
and you tell your 16-year-old who was so self-insecure and so maybe shy and maybe broken by little things and worries, and you can now reassure her. Maybe you can ask your future self, like, what can you tell me from where you stand to reassure me today?
Yeah.
The truth is you can actually talk to your future self easier because right now you're identifying what your younger self could say. So it's like a healed version of your future self, right? I want to.
I'm finding that very difficult.
Very difficult.
That's my hardest.
I don't mind sharing my experience if you'd like.
Explain just for your, like, for the future.
For the future, sure.
Because that's like, I feel like it's also less personal.
Sure,
It's
sure.
And like.
So it's if you can talk about to your other self about what hurt you, you could tell your future self you don't have to hurt anymore. Look, you're healed already. Tell your future self the work that you're doing to your previous.
Okay, fine, so like.
Es parte de tu mismo que te
Sí,
que,
sí.
por ejemplo, si a los 15 años tuviste un trauma y que quieres realmente hoy tienes las herramientas para ayudar a esa niña de 15 años que a 15 años no tenías. Entonces en tu imaginación la puedes agarrar, reasegurar, asegurar con
You gave me a good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like, I wrote to myself, you can like, you don't need to worry. You
Right,
put the
right,
wisdom,
right.
You keep spreading the light.
Yes.
With no ego. With
Yes. That's talking to your future self.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna go over the questions. I Baruch Hashem at the Midrasha. We create. Yes. You have a question?
We're sharing with me, but I think everybody should.
Oh,
Go.
something.
First of all, what's your name? Welcome.
I'm Malcolm Malone.
Hi, Malka.
First time here, so sorry to like jump.
No, please, welcome. We're so happy you're here.
Thank you. So far, so nice. The practice you're putting out there actually reminds me of something I read in a book. I'm forgetting the author's last name. Her first name's Edith. She's a Holocaust survivor and I
Oh.
believe a psychologist.
the book's called The Choice. I think many people have read it. And it reminds me of what she, and excuse me if I get little details wrong, because I read it a long time ago. It's a very amazing book. And what she used to do with Holocaust survivors, after the Holocaust, there were plenty of Holocaust survivors that just couldn't live life. And what she did, and she's a world-renowned psychologist or therapist, whatever, and she
Edgar,
would-
Edgar.
Ager,
Yeah.
yeah, Ager, and it's an amazing book. And she would have her patients sit down, close their eyes, similar to this, and kind of like hold their hand, asking them questions to go back. Very vulnerable state, especially for a Holocaust survivor.
Absolutely. That's,
It could have been right after, or it could be years later.
Mhm.
And she used this idea for not just Holocaust survivors, for everybody.
Wow.
So anyway, an example, because I know somebody asked for an example, I remember from reading for the book, and again, sorry if I get a little details wrong, but quickly she would take, so this person went back, closed her eyes to the little version of the young version of herself, getting on the cattle car,
Wow.
and
Yes.
her parents being separated from her, and she basically realized in that moment something that she never thought about before, and never realized even it was affecting her entire life, and that was that she didn't hold the hand of her siblings, something
Wow.
like that. She felt that guilt that her siblings died, and it took her to that place because she never went there. She didn't want to go there, and I don't know if we're
No,
supposed to
yes.
go that
So
deep,
you're,
but-
so you're using the terms, thank you for
Right,
sharing that, but
yeah.
you're using the terms that kind of were identifying something like guilt, shame. You know what? Also, it's very important, but also we don't want to only stay in the negative. Think also about the positive thing. There could have been a time or a version of you that experienced a lot of joy, a lot of love. But yes, I don't mind sharing a little bit of how this experience with it without getting so personal. But when I did this this exercise, sorry, I realized as I looked around of the version of me that one of me felt like I wasn't enough. One of me felt that I was always needing to prove more. So that obviously draws back to a version that didn't feel seen enough or didn't feel like needed there was a sense of needing to prove, because in essence when I was younger and when I was just a little baby in diapers, I didn't have any feelings like that. I didn't have the need to prove, to to get seen, to get compliments. There was an insecurity that built along the way, and so I needed to go back and find where in the version of me all of a sudden that did it switch, that I felt like it was not enough. And then the other versions kept on racing to feel enough.
Needs to be the same thing in every version?
No, but we're
Like
gonna
if you're insecure in a teenager,
yeah.
means that adult. it's
No,
the
but that
same.
insecurity poured into the next version,
Exact.
right? That insecurity then maybe just coupled something else as we move along the room. But right now, our heart broke somewhere. And the deep work of Elul is to mend the heart and go back to search where we lost it. And-
Do you want, sorry to interrupt, do you want us to?
Interrupt me.
Okay, do you want us to kind of like apologize to ourselves for being hard on ourselves? Like, for example, in very.
So right now we're just identifying. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna guide you, but the lines were clear in the beginning. There was clear instructions. We're going to be compassionate. We're not gonna shame. We're not gonna blame. We're not going to be hard on the versions. This is a safe boarding room where all the versions are there and we're having a reunion. Okay? Mechira, there's just Rabbi Maimon that called me. I want to make sure that.
We need more chairs.
Seriously, eh? There's a lot of people in this room today. Thank God. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna speak to the rabbi. I made it a warning. It's safe, and you know what? You don't have to go there. It took me. Good morning, Rabbi. How are you? Sorry? Yes. No, so the invitation is just to show, because it's a gated community, just to show the man at the front gate. Yeah, that's all. Excellent. We'll see you at 12, Rabbi. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All the best. Looking forward. Okay.
Yeah.
This is really good.
I'm so happy. We're being very practical this Elul. I decided this Elul we're being very practical.
I love it. Two names.
I'm Sarah.
Sarah's good.
Nice to meet you.
Are you living in the area?
I'm in Aventura, but
Are you Syrian?
I'm not. Do I look? I'm
Yeah, you
Moroccan.
You look Syrian.
I have a lot of Syrian friends. I'm not Syrian.
You look like my employees are Syrian.
Oh, very
Kind of. Often sometimes.
right, Moroccan. I mean, but very Canadian if you want. That's where I'm like Moroccan but Canadian.
How long ago did you move to?
3 years ago.
So regarde.
Okay, ladies, let's bring our hearts back to this. It's a good exercise. It's an interactive exercise, but I want to get through it, okay? The first question, just because I'm a teacher, so like my instructions are just like innate in me, and I'm always like re-guiding, and everybody listen up, and everybody draw your hearts back, okay? Oui, nous aujourd'hui, oui, yes.
Aussi. Mais
Aussi.
tu peux aller, toi, par exemple, visiter la version semaine, tu peux aller visiter ta version des 20 ans.
Okay. First question we asked, and let's be clear, write it down if you like. What does each version of you need to hear from me right now? What does each version of you need to hear from me right now? I walked in, here's all my versions of Sarah. What is each version of you? My little baby Sarah could be like, oh, you're so cute. You did so cute. You did so well. You were such an energetic little funny child. Or you could say to him, I want to come back to you. That authentic real self that, just loved purely, trusted purely, cared purely. Little you, I'll see you soon. Say that to them. Middle school you, maybe it was tough. Maybe you dealt with all the puberty and the changes and stuff like that, and it was difficult. Tell them I hear you. I see you, I remember you. Okay. And the second question was, what have I been carrying? Me now entering the room, I'm carrying something. Which of you, I don't like to say gave it to you because it's negative, but which of you, where did it originate from all of you? What I'm carrying today, be it an insecurity, be it a pain, be it a grief, be it a guilt, be it, again, not feeling enough, be it did I say insecurity? I did. Who gave it to me? Where did it come from all of you? That was the second question,
Okay.
right? The second question.
You know that.
We're going to search. We're going to look in the dark. We're not looking at things under the light. It's easy under the light. We're going to go searching. Yes. So, versions of Sarah. I'm coming in today and I'm carrying something that could be positive, something that could be negative, but something that I'm holding strongly in my heart. Which of you gave it to me? Which of you did it originate from? In what episode of my life did I find this? Because again, in my essence, it was once upon a time never there, and now it is there. So which of you did we experience?
Each episode give you a little bit of where you are now.
Yeah, so find the original one. Find where it originated.
I'm so sorry. I need the first question.
Again? Okay. First question is what does
I put my.
C'est bien. What does each of you need to hear from me right now? Qu'est-ce que chaque personne a besoin d'écouter de moi maintenant?
Qu'est-ce que
Mais
chacune de
ce société.
Comment je
Yes.
sais, how I know if my advice
No advice.
is the
no
right
advice.
one?
No advice.
Even advice.
You're going to be very simple. You look at every single version of you and you're going to say, what do you need to hear? Hi. It could be hello. It could be I see you. It could be you're so beautiful. It could be you did so well. Je sais pas.
It could be you're gonna be okay.
You're going to be okay. Yes.
After.
And when you
I was born a version of myself.
and you know what? The one that says you're going to be okay, look at that one because that helps the second question, right? The second question, you're going to be okay. If you're selling,
Your challenges.
Yes.
Despite your difficulties, despite your struggling through life.
so if that person has to hear that, that helps answer the second question. If you're telling a version of yourself, you're okay, I see you, I feel you, it's hard, you're gonna go back to the second question and be like, today, if I'm carrying an insecurity, it's because we experienced this together at this part of our lives. So you're gonna,
Can I also say something?
Sure.
Stress, insecurity, trigger points are also important and vital for your growth.
yes,
And to prevent you from danger.
yes,
The
Yeah.
fight or flight response, etc. So it doesn't have necessarily that we're gonna look back into our life and be like,
oh, I wish this was different. That everything Hashem put us through, all the difficulties, all the horror, whatever you name it, disease, abuse, whatever, is shaping who you are.
Absolutely. And this is why the future version of ourselves is present in this
Right.
boardroom. Because we're not just stopping at whatever hurt us. We're going to search where our heart was lost so we could find it again, so we could bring it back to the future self and we could feel like we're invigorated this year forward. Now, again, there's a destination for this. I'm not doing this exercise without a destination. There is a goal. We're going to be clear on the goal. We're just prepping our hearts.
What's the goal?
I am not telling you now. Keep you on the suspense.
No,
And then you know.
Yes, it is Lech Lecha, Esther, yes. Okay, ladies, so how are we doing? Can we move on to the third question or do we need more time? The second question you need?
Yeah.
What does each of you need to hear from me? No, that was the first question. What have I been carrying for so long and who gave it to me? Translation. Qu'est-ce que... Aide-moi en français.
Répétez-la en,
What,
say it again in
what
English.
have I been carrying for so long and who gave it to me?
Qu'est-ce que je porte depuis si longtemps
Et qui me l'a donné?
Dans 15 ans que tu portes quelque chose en toi. Et ça vient d'une de ces versions. De qui?
Parce que tu es en moi.
Par exemple, ça peut être une anxiété. Voilà. Ça peut être-
C'est ça, fait 2 mois aujourd'hui.
Qu'est-ce que tu portes, par exemple?
Here.
Il y a des choses.
Drink some water.
That's okay?
Péché.
No.
I feel like it's very similar to the other question.
So some of them are going to be a little bit
No,
separate.
So I can say who gave it to me,
Yeah.
like, so more likely I can just change the question to
Yeah.
who gave it to me.
Your accent sounded so cool.
London.
I love it.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad
I
you're
think
from
it's-
Toronto. You're from Toronto.
I'm a Montreal.
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 My friend moved there, she was so bad.
It's like that, it's like this and you sleep here.
Yes, but it's not,
I'm not an AC girl. I'm like, I don't blast the AC. Some people blast it, some don't. Okay, ladies, let's do question number 3 and then, oui, vas-y.
La deuxième question, qu'est-ce que je porte depuis si longtemps
Et qui me l'a
et qui
donné?
me l'a donné?
De ce que j'ai dit, de ce que j'ai sorti de chaque.
Aujourd'hui.
Ouais.
Qu'est-ce que je porte de si longtemps et qui me l'a donné?
Depuis si longtemps. Il y a quelque chose en toi que tu as depuis très longtemps. Et tu ne sais pas, peut-être que tu dois comprendre ce que c'est.
Are we ready for the third question?
Et qui d'où ça vient?
Write it down. Oh, again, ready to write it down. Okay, third question, ladies.
Seems to be stressed.
No, it doesn't stress me out. It just, it's a beautiful work. So we're just,
It's very complicated.
it's
you know?
complicated, but you know what? If we don't do something like this once in our life, then we can live a version of the suit for so long.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I have 6.
Ouais, dis, on va jamais.
No. Okay, number 3. Hi. Number 3, girls. Which version
Ouais, bah, la vérité, je pense pas.
Which version of me?
Parce
Hi.
on peut guérir de. Pour être mieux, on peut guérir de quelque chose de négatif.
Okay, are we ready? Okay. Which version of me have I ignored? It's kind of like the same question, but which version of me have I ignored that is holding the key?
Oula.
Which version of me have I ignored that is holding the key?
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
Even though it's very vulnerable, but I'm gonna answer it in the hope to.
To help
open
share,
it
yes,
up.
yes,
Which
thank you.
version- Exactly. Okay, so which version of me have I ignored that is holding the key? So
Mm-hmm.
going to assessment classes for 3 years and I keep on saying it.
It's your own wisdom.
She taught us that we have to embrace the woman in us,
Mhm.
the woman to the Torah.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're not talking feminism, we're not talking
Right.
whatever. Now, on social media, you have the trad,
Right.
wife, whatever. It's kind of the idea of the Torah, which is we are strong, powerful women. But what does it mean to be strong and powerful? Does it mean that we have to hold career, lead men, and lead the world and become like the president of the world? Or does it mean we have to embrace the woman energy, be able to give space also to the man energy so that
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a beautiful mishkan in a way, or like
Yes.
a temple that you create in your own home that eventually translates to the community, etc. So she, Esther Silbon, many classes, kept on emphasizing feelings in many different ways, in many different aspects. So which version of me have I ignored that is holding the key? So if I look at me personally, most of you know I'm a physician. I'm an internist, but I'm also a cardiologist. Most of you know or may not know that in America, becoming a cardiologist is only 10% of women who do it, okay? The reason I'm multifactorial, it's very difficult to get in, but not just that, it's a very high paying job, so that therefore it's attracting men more than women, okay? Plus, if you think about the training, how to become a doctor, in America, it's like 20 years, so not a lot of women are attracted by that.
Mhm.
Now, Hashem put that idea in me that I wanted to be a cardiologist, not for the financial reason, but really because I felt it was my calling. But at the same time, by me going to that training of 20 years of fighting with the world, it made my energy less womanly and more manly.
Mhm.
Because I had to boss people around all the time.
Mhm.
Okay. I had
So you
to-
stepped into a lot of masculine energy.
Exactly, but I didn't realize it because I look like a woman. I look like a woman. I put makeup like a woman. I am very feminine and I'm sweet and kind, which is my woman traits.
Yes.
But that's still something that I had to identify.
Mhm.
I had to look back into my past.
Mhm.
Why did I do that? Why did I go to save the world? Why did I go into stepping into this role of being a physician? And how is it serving me today?
Mhm.
Okay, as a mom of
Mhm.
bigger kids, of teenager, as a wife, as a community member, as a community leader in multiple society. So again, so I had to say which version of me have I ignored that is holding the key. And through the years, I had to look back my feminine energy. And
Right.
this is again, I'm going through your question. Question one, question two, obviously I have to look at the different version of my childhood,
Yes.
of my teenager years,
Yes.
of why
Yes.
did I suddenly said, okay, coming from a Moroccan background, where my parents didn't
Right.
didn't finish
Didn't
high
push
school,
this, right?
didn't push this. Why? Who am I to want to step into that role? And why going through the hardest specialty? Like, you know, there's many other things that could have done, but why? So yeah, so going
You're
through
unpacking.
that-
You're definitely
Exactly.
unpacking.
So that's a very good
Question.
work that I have to do on myself because first of all, we don't even see what's lacking. We
Right.
don't see what's wrong.
Right.
There is just saying, for example, for me, it was gaining weight for no reason, emotional eating.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not coming from a gene that
Yes.
we're not big in the family, so something is wrong, but why?
Mhm.
And even the emotional eating, I didn't label it as such. I was like, I love food. We all love food. I'm Moroccan. I love to cook. I love to bake. I love to go to restaurants. So I didn't see it as wrong. But
And I mentioned also last week, right? No, I mentioned last week also that,
Food
you
is
know,
life.
the analogy of, thank you, first of all, but yes, you're really unpacking this and you're helping also make it more tangible for this exercise. But I mentioned last week that for so long we can stay stuck in this suit until we really realize that the suit doesn't fit us, but the body will never lie.
Yeah.
You will have neck pain and you will have gut pain and you will have some kind of digestive issue because the body, you can hide away and stuff away what you're trying to repress and stifle, but your body won't do it because your body's too aligned with what it's homing, which is your soul.
Can I ask you a question? Because, like, I work in a very masculine field, and I'm the only female in it, and I have to and that's so. Thank you for sharing because that relates to me a lot. But I think like it's I don't know if like for me like I kind of chose that role because of survival. I'm a single mom, and I have like no other choice but to support my like so. But like that's where my masculine came out. It comes out from no choice. Why do you think you went into that role? Like was there a reason why you
Yes.
felt?
Absolutely. So there is a very good reason. Number one, my parents. My dad had to be pulled out of school when he was 13 so that he could help his father in his business. He
Mhm.
became very successful, but he felt he didn't accomplish his potential. He's brilliant. He's very smart. He didn't.
You're identifying
His
it.
Potential. My mom got married to my father, and there are a 10-year gap. And even though she finished high school, she didn't pursue higher studies, not because she was prevented, but because then at the time the idea was get married, have kids. But they raised us, the five of us, which is 3 girls and 2 boys, to always have a career, to always have, and your financial independence, you
She's
have
very
your own
Moroccan too.
person,
Mhm.
you have your own career. So we were raised like that. So that's why growing up, it was, okay, I'm going to do something on my head. Now, what is the most impactful? How can I do the thing that's going to impact most? And boom.
So this memory also hold on to this
Wow.
experience because there's a version of you that remembers that, right?
So that's really
Yes.
cool. Thank you for sharing. I relate a lot.
Yes,
I
good.
wanna share also that many of our choices, we don't realize, but they are also built by previous generation,
Mhm.
by things that we feel we have to fix.
Mhm.
I'm not going to dig into your stories, I have no idea. But many times you own a legacy and you feel so attached to a certain person in your family, even people you don't know, but you heard about. For instance, I'm going to say something that Rosine owns the name of her grandmother. I don't know if you do so also. I also have the name of my grandmother. And sometimes, just by being named the same, we can actually
Carry.
inherit missions that have not been accomplished, and we feel that desire very
I
ununderstandably
agree.
to accomplish a mission and we don't know why. Fixing the world, you said, fixing the world, getting people to live to maybe a broken heart. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But like things that you have to fix, or it can also be like that your soul comes into this world with even not even like intergenerational mission, but even like
Trauma.
a mission to do the tikkun of
Yes,
that nation
yes.
in a
yes.
previous life, and you have no idea why, but it's stronger than you. You need to do this. You feel attracted by that. I have a very good friend of mine. She's not artistic, and her husband is not artistic, but her daughter is an artist. And since she was a little girl, she always wondered, why is my daughter so like in another world?
Abstract.
And yes, and now her daughter makes beautiful paintings. She's only 15 years old. She does painting that you can't even imagine. And she said, I don't know where that comes from. This is a gift from Akadosh Baruch Hu
Yes.
in order for her to accomplish her mission in this life.
Yes.
And there is nothing that can explain that physically, because on one side and on the other side, they don't have this kind of talent. But this neshama comes with this special sensitivity, and she's able to offer it to the world. So our choices sometimes are led by traumas and things that we go through that build us, and sometimes it's inherited from a. I'm so sorry that you're so hot.
No,
I
it's
really
not your
apologize.
fault.
And also it could just be like the neshama that needs to fix something.
But I feel like for me, for example, you said it point on the nail, because I remember when October 7th happened, I had this like crazy drive to change the world, and I was doing a lot of events, and I was
100%.
just like, I was so focused in it. And for me, what went through my head was my grandmother, who my daughter's named after, is she in 1938, they told her to get off the street and she couldn't live. And I just still had this feeling inside me that the reason the Holocaust happened was because everybody thought someone else would do it. So I felt this crazy strength. It didn't matter who was in front of me. Like it comes from like something deep. And I
yeah.
think it's trauma, like
Yeah.
or like
Listen,
generational trauma.
listen, again, ladies, all the versions are there. So everything that you shared, every version experienced this. Also this need to kind of like save the world could also have been little you that maybe saw mommy struggling or Abba struggling, and then all of a sudden this left a very deep mark and said, I'm never gonna have that for my, meaning it all comes full circle. We've seen it and we'll re-see it. And when we can identify it, the goal here is to find what was lost. Because what we are essentially is pure.
But Sarah, I'm going to circle back to exactly what you said. So I didn't identify for 20 years about this movement and men energy, and I was doing it all. I was the mom, whatever you can think of, the most OCD mom you can imagine, the most OCD doctor you can imagine. But it took a toll on your physical health.
Yes.
Because even though you can smile and get dressed and lie to the world, so to say, even to yourself,
Yes.
but eventually it catch up on you.
It catches up, yeah.
He's going to give you things. So eventually, once I did the work on myself, thank you Hashem, because I would have not done the work on myself if I didn't come to classes and got interested and wanted to learn more, wanted to understand more, that I would have continued that for years and years and years and years.
So that's the beauty also, Baruch Hashem, because you're bringing me back on the idea. That's the beauty also about why we do this. There is no other truth than nothing's gonna resonate when you don't hear the truth of Torah, because that will forever stay real. And that will forever bring you back to that soul that doesn't fit that suit. Torah, truth, resonates deeply. If something's hitting today, if something is touching, it's because there's a truth that is vibrating in you. Because it was always there. Again, it was always there. We lost it. We kind of deformed it. We molded into another version to fit another kind of suit. But we want to draw our hearts back to the original version so that we can find what was originally there. Some people will not find it. Some people, it's a work that I'm comfortable like this. I'm comfortable walking like this. It fits for me right now. If I'm able to walk, I'll do it. And that's the survival mode that you were talking about. But I'm telling you personally, my work this year is finding the pieces that I'm going to collect that are even broken because they're whole. You know, when Moshe broke the tablets, he put them in the Aron HaKodesh, the broken ones and the whole ones, because God doesn't just want your whole parts. He wants the broken ones too. So we're collecting everything together. Okay, we're collecting everything together. And again, let's not stray away from the point. The point is we want to find our hearts back so that this year we could feel like we're back to the original self. And when that shofar blows, Rosh Hashanah, on Yom Kippur actually, you're going to see the untouched version, the untainted version that Hashem placed with you at birth. You're going to come in contact with that Pintel Yid. You're going to come back to that version that was never manipulated, for a lack of a better word. For a second, at the hour of the Ne'ilah, we all say, the Hasidic masters tell us that we come back to that untouched pure version that was never went through all of life's experiences. But right now, we're kind of unlayering so that it could be easy to go back to that. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes.
So none of this is something you can be born with, like you're not born with an insecurity, what if it's a certain personality?
You can have personality, you can have character. You are all a different divine design. But anything negative, let's say any connotation that we have negative, is something that erupted in your life and was not part of the quintessential plan of your soul. Your soul always trusted. Your soul always loved. Your soul was always empathetic. It was always compassionate. It was always kind. It was always joyful. It was never meant to see negativity in the world. It is pure because it comes from divine purity.
If it's not one example, like an extreme example, it's harder to identify because if there was small little things that happened, let's say trust, for example.
Yes, good example.
And it was just things that maybe didn't seem even like at all a big deal in the moment, but built up.
Yes.
It ends up maybe building the trust.
Yes, yes. The
That's
suit.
the harder part because it's not one specific.
No. It'll pour into different versions of trust that dilute the version of what trust would look like. But we're identifying where it got lost. Trust even at a 3-year-old, even at a 4-year-old. We sometimes can't go back that far, but sometimes if we're really quiet with ourselves, we can. At a certain point in my life, my version of trust got diluted.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Trust as a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and I did that to my own children because of my own upbringing. You go to the park, the kids are playing in the park, I will go inside the slide with them because I was scared she was going to get hurt. But what am I doing by doing that? I'm teaching her she cannot trust herself and her abilities because she's going to fall.
So then you're going to have to go back to why you do that.
Right, obviously, yeah.
You know,
That's how we can
somebody
go back
asked a
to
really
it.
good question. You have a question? Yeah. I'm just gonna finish this thought. Somebody asked a really good question, but like, we always could use this with the relationships that we have in our life. Sometimes right now we're doing this exercise and you're thinking maybe about your partner, of your children. You could think about all the other versions. I love to say that Hashem doesn't have grandchildren. Hashem is fathering your child. Hashem is God to your husband, just as he is God to you, and he is godly to your children. He doesn't have grandchildren, meaning like you don't need to intercept into the relationship that your child has with God because he's also fathering them. And so you don't need to fix them or try to make sure that they're okay. God's taking care of it. Right now, we're taking care of you. Yeah, yeah. We do that a lot, especially as mothers. We want to protect and save our children. We want to make sure to guard them from anything, any kind of harm.
Praying for them every day.
Absolutely. And we should, like any good mother. But at the same time, Hashem is also fathering your child. You are not going to intercept that relationship or that journey. Everybody has that journey. And then when you release that, you can heal also while you do that. Right? Okay, you had a question, sorry.
It was on the question about the negative traits.
Yes.
Or like, I guess this is pretty open, but I am wondering, there's certain personality traits and certain things, like, okay. So I was actually discussing with somebody about how I need to be a mom of structure and like more strictness rather than what I naturally go to of being like more flexible, easygoing. But my son specifically needs to be like, he needs that tough love type of thing. But how is that, like, I don't know where I acquired this personality. I think it's a personality.
It could be a
trait.
personality thing.
No,
You could be more open, less scheduled. That's fine.
Right.
So it's the question is now you're being asked to kind of level up your what's naturally innate to you in order to fit your what works for your son. Is that the question?
Because I guess it has to do with this prompt that you're giving us because I can't just like keep acquiring this particular personality.
Yeah.
I have to.
So
mold
so
to-
there's a big difference. I'm happy that you're bringing it up. We are all like I innately am very extroverted. Okay. I'm very, I speak with my hands, very characteristic. Like if I have to now be put in a situation that I kind of have to quiet down, it's difficult for me. I'm not asking you to now reform on a personality. I'm not asking you to kind of now mold into a character that might not be you innately. The opposite, quite opposite. I'm asking you to go back to your innate self, your cool, zorem, go with the flow self, and find the strength in that can also perpetually help your son. Maybe society is telling you you need to be more scheduled for your son because he thrives on that. Great. That's a reality that you now experience, and if that works, Baruch Hashem. But what we're doing right now is not a journey for your son. It's a journey for yourself. Why do you feel a bit insecure that you need to be more scheduled? Is it because society tells you that you thrive better and results happen more in a scheduled? That's a personal question you need to ask. Why don't you accept that you're also just go with the flow? There's beauty in being very good.
Can't do that.
Okay, so in that version of yourself, somebody at a certain point in your life told you, actually, you need to stop being your personality because society needs results and results only happen when you're so and so so. You need to heal whoever told you that and whatever feeling you had from that so that you can accept that you are what you are. I don't know if I'm giving it to you on a foot. I'm sorry. This took me 3 hours to do for myself. And I'm so sorry that I'm giving it to you on 1 foot. But I do believe it is very beneficial. And I'm inviting you to tell me if this is beneficial coming into Rosh Hashanah. We're trying to look back for our hearts. The whole idea is that Moshe told Am Yisrael, you lost something at a camp. You got to go back to the camp and find something that you lost. Rabbi Maimon is calling me. I'm going to answer him. And we're going to stop maybe at the fourth question. And we're going to continue with the fifth and sixth. How does that sound? You have homework for me for next week. And next week is our last midrasha before Elul, so we want to make this count before Rosh Hashanah.
Did you say?
I'm going to go over it. I'm going to say it right now, and then I'm going to call Rabbi Maimon, okay? Number 1, what does each of you need to hear right now? What does each of you need to hear right now? At every stage, every version of you looking around the boardroom, every version of you that is there, little you, big you, adolescent you, future you. What do you need to hear from me right now? It could be hello, it could be hi, whatever it is. Number two. Oh, Rabbi Maimon's here. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Number two, girls. What have I been carrying for so long and who gave it to me? I'm gonna let you write it down. Okay. And just stop at number three. We're gonna continue next week. Ladies, I'm so happy that you engaged in this. It's a really beautiful exercise. Join us next week as we continue. We're so happy to welcome Rabbi Maimon. Rabbi Nassim Maimon, thank you so much for being here, all the way from Eretz Yisrael, really, Baruch Hashem, Zachinu.
Was there another?
Rabbi Maimon will be, thank you so much, Rabbi Maimon. Thank you so much for being here. Please say, no, we're gonna stop the recording, we're gonna record you and then I'll send it to you. I will, absolutely. Yes, we will, absolutely, yes.